what's going to be going through your head as you're walking out to the octagon? How special will this homecoming be?
Yeah, hell yeah. Hopefully it's very special. Hopefully they blow the roof off the place, man. So I'm looking for go out there, put on a good show, fight of the night, and get some. Yeah, I think we've talked about it many times while training.
All
I mean,
the
it's
time.
just like when we spar and play around. And like I said, when we first got the call, we called each other like, yeah, it's good, it's good. He's like, yeah, hell yeah. I said, cool, let's get fight of the night, let's get paid, let's do this. He's like, hell yeah. So it's all about money to me and him. I think we're on the same page with that, and we're good friends. But by no means is it gonna hold us back. We're going out there, draw blood, and fucking get some, and then get paid, and then have a beer.
Yeah, for me, I was actually on the first tee of the golf course when I got the call, and my manager would not tell me who it was. So I cut my golf game short, which I didn't want to, and ran to the office. I get there, I see the contract sitting on the desk, and I had to flip through 100 pages, you know, a UFC contract like that thick. And I see Donald's name, and like I kind of gasped for air, like, really, dude? And he was like, yeah. He's like, I was like, how soon? He was like, next month in Denver. I was like, and we going to Denver? I was like, damn. I was like, all right. I said, well, the first thing I thought was, I guess there must have been some other people who said no to this fight. And quite frankly, I was right about that. It was about 3 people who turned it down. You know, Donald's always been a great friend of mine. Me and my wife spent time at his ranch. And, you know, the first thing I thought was, the least I can do is show up for the guy. That way he can fight in his hometown. But by any means, I didn't come to Colorado to lose. You know what I mean? I know what's on the line. All these guys up here have worn the armor, man. They've all been champions in top divisions. I'm the only one at this table that has not been a WEC or UFC champion. And I think it's time for me to join the elite. And to join the elite, you got to fight an elite guy in his hometown. And that's why I respected Donald enough to at least step up and fight me in his hometown, because I'm not an easy fight and he's not an easy fight. And that's what this organization is about, fighting. It's not about, you know, the media and taking photos and photo shoots. That's not why we became fighters. We became fighters to fight, and I wish a lot of other guys in our division would step up to the plate sometimes and fight guys and stop running from guys. It's actually been fun for me, you know. I haven't been stressed about anything. You know, the Camoas fight, you know, I was coming off 2 losses. So, you know, it was like, I got to survive, but I got to win. But at the same time, I was still trying to make the fans happy and put up a good fight, you know. You know, honestly, coming into this fight with Donald, I'm expecting a 3-round brawl. Like, I'm expecting it to be one of the hardest fights. I woke up this morning and told my wife, you know, I don't even think I might want to go out Saturday night after the fight. You know, me and Donald were supposed to have an after party together, and if I'm pretty banged up, I might just want to lay down and sleep. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to give to the fans. You know what I mean? I want to throw my body into sacrifice and give the fans what they want to see, and give Donald the fight he wants. You know, this is his hometown, so I don't want him to be cut short of anything out here. I want to give him 150% of me, and I know he'll give it back. So we definitely want to be fighter tonight.
Question for Donald over here. Straight ahead, yeah. Don, is it true that you're not staying at the Fighter Hotel and that you're staying somewhere else by yourself during fight week?
Well, I don't know about myself. I got my whole team with me. I'm staying. I got an RV. I'm staying in. Yeah.
Where is that?
That way I can hit the lake in between.
Where is the RV located?
Right down 6th Avenue in Golden.
So are you staying in the RV by yourself and there are others around you, or is it a big RV with a lot of people?
It's a big RV. We got 6 beds in it, so they're all in there. We all piled in there.
How come I wasn't invited, man? That's cool, man. I'm staying in a hotel room and you hanging out in the RV with 6 beds.
Is that the first time you've done that during a UFC or a WC fight week?
No, pretty much anywhere close. Like when I fought down in Phoenix, and every time I go to Vegas, we just bring the RV down and stay in it. I just like it better.
UFC's okay with that?
I didn't even give them the option to not be, I guess. I don't know.
Are you doing like water sports and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I love the water sports. So
yeah,
I bring my boats down here too. So whenever we're not here, we're on the lake.
Okay, and I can't help but notice, you know, looking at you two sitting there, it reminds me of WC 53 when you guys first fought, and you know the WC connection there.
Oh, we will fight again. Don't worry about that.
Do you guys still even talk about those days, about just being the underdogs in WC and all that, or is that over with now? For both Ben and Donald.
No, we haven't talked about that really. We were just up there talking about how bad weight cuts suck. So that Ben's doing a lot better than me.
So there's no fraternity basically. It looks like WC versus UFC right now.
I was thinking the same thing, man. The homeboy.
Do you know the
versus
numbers on the
outsiders,
WC
right?
guys versus the UFC guys? Anybody know the numbers on that? Somebody should look that up and find the numbers on the WC.
I think John knows, right? John, why don't you tell us the numbers?
I know it's in the WEC's favor for
Yeah.
sure.
As far as my game plan with Greg, it's just go do what you do, and that's kind of the talk we had. And I said I'm gonna go out there and fight hard. You know, I don't really have a game plan for this fight that I've set up with Greg. I mean, I'm gonna go fight my ass off, and that's what I plan on doing. You know, I don't take steps backwards. I'm going forward the whole time, and I know Melvin knows that, and he's probably prepared for it. So we're gonna meet in the middle and clash.
But, you know, there's not a day go by I don't think about my former teammates at Jackson's and think about Coach Greg. You know, it's kind of overwhelming sometimes. You know, there was actually points in this since I left where kind of back around March when I lost the fights to Lozon and then I lost to Miller. I started reassessing my situation of why I left. You know, and I would, you know, anytime I start thinking that way, I always consult with my wife because she always have the best answers for me. And you know, one thing about me, I've never looked back when I've moved on to something, and I had to adjust to a big change. It was like it was a big change for me, but I got through it, and I finally got me a win with the Black Zillions. A long trained, tough, fought hard. It was a hard fought win, and you know, to turn around and fight a former teammate and great friend like Donald, you know, I'm an opportunist. You know, it's about the opportunities that are given to you. And the one thing I keep preaching to people is that in this weight division, you know, everybody's beating everybody. You know what I mean? There is no dominant guy. You know, we're all tough. We're all tough fighters, you know? So it's about picking the right fights. And I think right now in my life, you know, fighting Donald makes the most sense. You know what I mean? He's a tough guy. He's a former champion. And this fight's going to push one of us up, and it's going to push one of us a couple of steps back, you know, as usual. So I'd rather be fighting Donald than fighting some new guy that comes into the UFC and just banking and just getting the wing, because if I do that, then I got to deal with you guys being critical, saying that I can beat the newbies. So it's time for me to step up and fight the elite guys and win.
How often did you guys actually train together at Jackson's, and how much of an advantage do you feel you have from that experience?
Well, we trained all the time. You know, every day that we were in the gym, we trained together. You know, if it wasn't me and him slugging it was him and Leonard. You know, and him and Leonard sparring matches got a lot worse than me and his. You know, it got to where Coach had to pull them away, but that's just how they spar, man. And you know, before I got to Jackson's, I never would spar that hard. You know, and going up to Jackson's was the first time actually sparring with Cowboy, and then was when I really started to spar to my full potential. And there were a lot of times, man, you know, from the leg kicks, you know, I would go down, and Cowboy, you know, he's a tough guy, you know, and I had my days, you know, and that's just a day in the office, you know what I mean? But we never went in there to hurt each other. It seemed kind of hard, and there were times where certain licks were hard, but we never went in there to knock each other out. You know, this is actually the first time that we're going to throw hands for real. For real, you know what I mean? And, you know, when you're in the training room, you don't get paid in there. So if one of us cut each other, or we break a rib, you know, from a knee, you know, now we're out, you know what I mean? So that would have been stupidity, you know. We were just making each other tougher. The similarities, you know, like I keep saying, you know, I don't want to be naive the same way Rashad did with John and think that Cowboy is not a better fighter. You know what I mean? I'm expecting different techniques, but similarities, you know, but I'm not going to be one-track minded to think that he's not a better fighter. Because if I do that, then it's going to be a night like John and Rashad. And, you know, and the last thing I need is to be going back to the Black Zillions with the same performance that Rashad gave with John. You know, I'm going in this fight to win, but win or lose, I'm going to fight hard. And that's my main goal, to fight hard, win or lose. The only thing I know is a win over Donald can put me back in the elite, you know. I call it the Elite Five, you know, at least back in the top 5, you know what I mean? And, you know, after throwing down with Donald, I definitely, you know, I've been begging for this rematch with Lozon, and I get highly criticized about it, but I don't care what anybody or any of you think about how the Lozon fight went. I rushed myself completely rushed myself. I was so overly excited because I was fighting in Houston, so a lot of things played into that. If everybody been seeing me all week, notice my demeanor's been real calm, real cool. because I don't want to get overly excited about anything right now. I know I'm expecting a tough fight, so, but I'm not looking past Donald, you know, and people keep asking him the same thing. Are you looking past Melvin to fight Pettis? You know, honestly, I think Pettis was one of the guys on the roster to fight him, and he just said he wasn't ready. So, you know, I was able to step up.
Donald?
Yeah, by no means am I overlooking Melvin, but a win over Melvin hopefully puts me in line with Pettis. You know, that's a fight that someone did turn down, you know, and so he's right on the track with that one. And I've been wanting to fight him for a while, so yeah. Well, otherwise, where it puts me, I don't really give a shit, but Pettis is what I'm looking for, so.
You know, I love the fight, man, you know what I mean? And I just feel ultimately when it's my time to be champion and I get that opportunity to fight for the belt, I want to at least say I know I'm prepared and I'm ready, you know what I mean? And that's why I take every fight as a championship fight, especially a fight with Donald, you know. I've always looked up to Donald. He knew that when I got to Jackson's, you know. When I first met Donald, I was a little starstruck at first, you know. I was like, there's WC champion, you know, and I get to train with this guy, you know, and my wife was starstruck. She's sitting there just eye fucking him and shit, you know, but, you know, it's, you know, but when you become great friends and stuff, man, you know, you just learn that, you know what, we're going to grind it. And I feel like this is a championship fight for me, man. This is a career deciding fight for me, man. This fight is going to decide if I can I compete with the elite, you know, or am I going to be one of those guys just floating in the pack that's fighting just to get by? I don't want to be that guy, you know what I mean? And, you know, I listen to some of the things you guys say in the press, and some things do bother me. It hurts me, you know, I have feelings too, but, you know, it makes me train harder. It makes me know what's out there. You know, I got to reach above and beyond. You know, Dana's always had my back. He's always thought highly of me, told me I got so much talent, and I feel the same way, but, you know, sometimes the dice didn't roll my way in certain fights, you know. I wish I had that Jim Miller fight back, but I don't look back. I want to keep looking forward, and the Donald fight is the perfect fight for me to burst through that placenta, you know what I'm saying?
As far as sitting and waiting like Pettis and hiding, no, I wasn't going to do that. I want to keep fighting and try and make money, so.
I heard you guys talking about fighters ducking in the division. Is it safe to say we're all talking about Pettis? Is that how we were talking about ducking fights?
Oh, no, I'm talking about pretty much the whole stable, you know what I mean? It's, you know, Frankie's always got to have a rematch. You know, he has to keep fighting, you know what I mean? There's other guys out there to fight, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, for the media and the UFC to know our division's so stacked, why are there more guys stepping up? That's my only thing, you know what I mean? It's like a lot of guys are really playing it safe, you know what I mean? And, you know, I'm sitting here today getting ready to fight my best friend because maybe 3 or 4 other guys didn't take the fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, this fight's been planned long before my last fight, July 7th. So they already have these fights already matched up. So for me to be fighting a month later, that means some guys didn't step up to the plate and do their job, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And would any of you guys be interested in fighting Gilbert?
I'll fight anybody at 155. I don't care.